Yes, indeed, guys. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Jay Jordan, and I just got back from Barclays Center in downtown Brooklyn not too long ago, where the Liberty pull off an ugly win. Final score 81-75. Very ugly game from the beginning, but the Liberty were able to pull it off. Liberty moved to 16-3, still number one overall seed in the WNBA. The Dream are the 7th seed at the moment with a 7-10 record. This win moves the Liberty to 3-0 over the Atlanta Dream in the season series. The Liberty won the other two games on the road down in Atlanta. Well, in this video, I'm going to touch on the game itself, the box score, and then my thoughts at the end. We have a lot to discuss. So as always, if you like this type of content, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that noti bell so you get notified anytime I post. We have a lot of watch alongs going on. The support for the channel has been amazing so far this season. So if you want to keep up to date, make sure you're here. Salute. All right, so the game was a 1 p.m. Eastern game at Barclays Center. It was an ESPN game, the first of two on the ESPN docket for Sunday, June 30th. The starting lineups announced, and Courtney Vandersloot was moved back into the starting lineup. As we all know, she was out for a week or for like around 2 weeks due to the death of her mother. She didn't start the Commissioner's Cup game, but then she's back in the starting lineup for this game. So the starting lineups were Courtney Vandersloot, Sabrina Ionescu, Benijah Laney-Hamilton, Brianna Stewart, and Jonquel Jones. Atlanta dealing with people coming back on their own. They have Jordan Canada, who returned from her hand injury the last couple of games. This was her first start. So we had Jordan Canada, Haley Jones, Alicia Gray, Nia Coffey, and Tina Charles, the Liberty legend, all-time New York Liberty scorer, point scorer, excuse me. All right, so in the first quarter, the Liberty did not play well at all. Very sluggish on the offensive end. People not knowing where to be. Atlanta was blowing up a lot of the offensive sets to Liberty you're trying to run. Liberty turning the ball over, going back the other way, and it was paying off for them. They were scoring in transition, scoring off their original sets. Maya Caldwell came off the bench, was scoring. It was all bad for the Liberty. They only scored 13 points in the first quarter. The first quarter is usually their dominant quarter. They were outscored 24-13. Not a good sign. I was pretty frustrated in my seat. Just kept shaking my head every time down the floor. Second quarter was a little bit better for the Liberty. They outscored them 23-17, but still more of the miscommunication. Sandy was shuffling the lineups a lot. We saw a lot of different types of lineups. Kennedy Berg playing more of the 5 when JJ has to go to the bench. They had almost a whole bench unit in with 2 starters. Sandy was just like pulling buttons, trying to find some spark for the game instead of just going back to the original lineup that we were playing with the whole not the whole season, but like while Vandersloot and Benijah were out, going back to that lineup that was leading us to wins. But I will say Vandersloot did play well in that second quarter. She hit a couple layups, hit a big 3 to end the quarter. We went on like a 9-0 run to end the second quarter. Score was 41-36. Atlanta was still up at the half, but we had cut the lead down tremendously. It was a double-digit deficit at one point, but the Liberty fought back in the second. Third quarter, Liberty started to assert their dominance, getting to the line, making their foul shots. The ball was popping around. Sandy finally went back to that lineup that we were playing with a lot to close during the streak that we had, the winning streak. So we had Sabrina. Who else was in there? Sabrina, Benijah, JJ, Stewie, and Leo Febich. She played really well today. They went back to that lineup. Kayla Thornton, the threes weren't falling today, so Leo was in her spot. Liberty outscored them 24-18 in the third to erase that deficit and take the lead. And then in the fourth, Liberty outscored them 21-16. Big defensive stops, getting to the line. Leo had a couple steals, hit a couple big threes. Sabrina hit some threes as well. JJ finally decided to score in the fourth as well. And the Liberty ended up winning the game 81-75. All right, so we're going to take a look at the box score. We'll start off with the Liberty. We have Courtney Vandersloot played 21 minutes, 7 points, and 7 assists. No turnovers, which is a big deal in her return to the starting lineup. Sabrina Ionescu, she suffered 10 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 of 17 shooting, 2 for 11. She didn't look comfortable all night. I don't know if it was the return to playing the shooting guard and got Vandersloot back being ball dominant at the point. I'm not too sure, but it's a correlation there. But Nigelini Hamilton, 32 minutes, 18 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. She did her thing overall. Had a couple silly turnovers, but her overall production was solid. Brianna Stewart, 37 minutes, 22 and 12. The first part of the game, she was just breaking up a storm. Couldn't buy a bucket in the first quarter, but she came alive later on. Jonquel Jones, another subpar game, 5. That's 2 in a row. The Commissioner's Cup final in this one, 5 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. They have to find a way to get her better involved. Leo Fibich, 22 minutes, 12 points, hit some big threes, had 3 steals towards the end of that game to give us some cushion. Kennedy Burke with 12 minutes and 4 points. Kayla Thornton, 10 minutes and 3 points. Let's take a look at the Atlanta Dream. Haley Jones, 16 minutes, 2 points, 1 rebound, and 1 assist. Jordan Canada in her first start, 37 minutes, 9 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists. Alicia Gray killed us with 24 and 5. Nia Coffey, no points. And Tina Charles, the Liberty legend, with 16 and 12, a double-double. Maya Caldwell, 8 points off the bench. Came and gave him a spark in that first half. Cheyenne Parker-Tyus with 12 points and 6 rebounds. She played a lot of that second half in place of Nia Coffey. And Naz Hellman played 10 minutes, had 4 points and 2 rebounds. Some team stats I just want to point out. The Liberty shot 39 threes, only made 13 of them. That was 33%. Compared to the Dream, they shot 17 and made 6 of them. So that was 35% for them. Some other interesting stats are the turnovers. The Dream had 18 turnovers. They conceded 22 points off of them. The Liberty had 7 and only conceded 8 off of those. Dream had a 16-point lead at one point and ended up losing the game in the end. So that's a credit to the Liberty's resilience and fight to the finish. All right, so my thoughts on this game. Sluggish start. I didn't expect it. I mean, I didn't know Vandersloot was starting until later on as the game was about to start, which is why the stats for the others were a little different. We used to see Sabrina was getting them double-doubles, getting close to multiple assists, getting close to 10 assists a game, and now that Sloot is back, that number has dropped back to considerable numbers, the 3 and 4s. I still stand of the opinion that Vandersloot should come off the bench. She should herald a second unit, be the leader of that unit. You could play some of them, her and Sabrina, some minutes together, but you shouldn't start the game with them. As we saw during the end of last season and some games during this season when they're both on the floor. Vandersloot, when she's off the ball, she's not a good off-the-ball player because she's not a credible three-point shooter or a reliable three-point shooter. She had a couple open looks this game, and the defense was intentionally playing off her to let her shoot that. So I think if we go back to that same lineup we had with Sabrina, Benijah, Kayla, Stewie, and JJ, that's a good starting lineup. Then Vandersloot could be the first point guard sub off the bench, so you can stagger their minutes a bit. Got to find a way to get JJ better involved. She's running a lot of pick and roll or pick and pop. She has to find a better way to seal her defender and work on a little more of those post moves. I don't know if that's not in the offensive game calling package, but there's a lot of times where she's trying to post up and the defender's just shading her. They can't get the entry pass to her. And then the other end, Tina Charles today was just backing her down, going up and under, shooting hook shots over her as well. So that has to fix on JJ's end. the coaching staff has to find a better way to get her involved besides her just hanging out on the perimeter and just shooting threes. Get back to what we were doing earlier where she was rolling to the basket. She was getting her touches inside first before the three started flying later on in the game. Well, that's the recap here. Liberty moved to 16-3, still #1 seed overall in the WNBA. They're 9-1 in their last 10, 4-game winning streak for the Liberty. That moves them to 9-1 at home. The Atlanta Dream are 4-4 on the road now. They're still dealing without Ryan Howard, who's out due to injury. But they're trying to make it work. Now they got Jordan Canada back, so hopefully that could result in them getting a little bit more wins until Ryan can come back. All right, so that's it for this recap video. Next video I'll be doing is we'll be doing a recap of the Liberty versus the Lynx. The Liberty host the Lynx again on Tuesday, July 2nd. I will be at that game, so once I get back, I'll do the recap for that game. Hopefully the Liberty can pull off a win. The Liberty have not beat the Lynx yet this season. 1 regular season game and 1 Commissioner's Cup game. So hopefully the Liberty can figure some things out here and Sandy could have a come to Jesus moment and have Vandersloot come off the bench. But I doubt it will happen. So until next time, guys, make sure you leave a like, subscribe. I'll see y'all next time. Until then, salute.